Hey guys, this is Alex, or Alexandra Street, or whatever. You don't know me personally. Um, I kind of felt compelled to make this video because I was thinking, there are so many of you who I've talked to and know my story, but there are so many of you who maybe we're just becoming friends, and you're like, whoa, this chick like really loves health and fitness, and like, what's her deal, kind of thing. And so I wanted to, I guess, share with you my story if you haven't heard it before. Um, my fitness story starts about 7.5, 8 years ago. I was a teen mama. My son was born my husband now and I had our son our senior year, and he was completely the biggest blessing in our life, but one of those blessings that I didn't know was actually ever going to happen to me. I wasn't even asked to babysit kids, let alone think that I was going to have one. So it was definitely a shock, but regardless of that, it's where my story started. Because after I had him, I just remember feeling like I was just so down. And maybe you, other moms can relate to, you have your baby and life is crazy just because new babies are crazy and your sleep schedule is just nuts. But, I didn't go back to my pre-pregnancy weight at all. In fact, I was over 200 pounds right after I had him. I have stretch marks all over my stomach that resemble more of like an alligator attack or a shark attack than anything else. I was 18 years old at the time, and when all my friends were busy shopping for prom dresses and for, worrying about what they were doing Friday night, and, I felt like I was so embarrassed because I was mortified to go back to school because I was so afraid that people would be like, oh, she hasn't lost her baby weight yet. And like, oh, is that what happens when you have a baby? You know how high schoolers can be. And, I just remember being so negative, and it really affected my entire life because I wasn't a good mom at first. I mean, like, I loved him, but I couldn't see past myself. I couldn't get over the fact that I was terrified to get dressed in the morning because I would run out of clothes that would hide, my weight. And I was terrified not only to go back to school, but for holidays and for pictures, because when you have a little baby and all people want to do is take pictures of you and your baby. I mean, I have to say, I missed, like, we have no pictures of me and my son Zane from when he was little because I was that afraid of being in a picture. It just weighed on my mind all the time. It made my relationship really bad. School, I had no motivation. I mean, I did graduate high school and I went on to college and got my degree, but it was very hard for me to find any kind of hope to do that because I felt hopeless in myself. So, it was kind of a deep, dark time, and it took about 6, 7 months until I had a meltdown in the dressing room. My then boyfriend had left for, he was in the Marine Corps, so he had left for boot camp, and he was going to be gone for a few months, and I was down about that because he had become such a lifeline of me. And I was in the dressing room one day, and it was like I put on a dress that was just one size too big for my comfort zone, and when I was trying to like zip up the zipper, it wouldn't budge. And I feel really bad for whoever was helping me that day because I like all those voices that had been in my mind for the last 6, 7 months after I'd had my son about like, you're not good enough, you're ugly, you're fat, or people are looking at you, or you can never wear a bikini again, you can never be fit again. That just all came like forward, and instead of like, I cried. Like when I get upset, I just cry. And so I had this breakdown, and I was really tempted to at that point in time just swallow any pill. I wanted to have surgery. I wanted to take anything off, and I felt so guilty as a mom because you hear things like you should be thankful that you have a baby and that you're healthy and that but the truth was that I didn't feel like I was worth it. To me, the way I felt about myself, I didn't want to have that life. So anyways, rather than giving up, for some weird reason, on like the worst day of my life, I also had like the most empowering day of my life because there's like a voice that said like, no, don't give up, you can do this, and like, stop bullshitting yourself, stand up, take control, eat right, work out, just I don't care what it takes, just go for it. And so I would love to say that like I went to the gym right after that, but the truth was I didn't. I stayed kind of mopey for a few days, and I finally, until I broke down and said like, I need help. I hate myself and I hate where I'm at because I can't look at my child and want to take him places without worrying about what people are going to think of me. I can't imagine, you know, I just can't imagine going to a family party and having people talk. And not that my family would talk, because they're not. They're the sweetest people. Like, I had an amazing upbringing. But you know how you feel when you have nothing to wear in your closet that makes you feel good? And I just, that spilled over into everything. Like I said, my relationships weren't good, and this, and that. So finally, I know I've honed in on that, but I just really want you to get a picture of where I started. I finally decided to ask for help. And my mom was one of the first people who helped me, and she still does today, and I love her. But I did baby steps. I didn't go on any crazy starvation diets. I didn't, kill myself in the gym or anything like that. Like, I think my first day I made it like 10 minutes on the elliptical, and I was about dead, so I laughed. But I started trying to make just little tiny baby steps every single day. Like, I try to have a vegetable at every meal. I would try to eat better and eat more often. And rather than, pulling through McDonald's drive-thru, I'd pack like a sandwich or an apple with me. And I would just start reading about things like what foods are good for your body, what aren't, how do they break down, what exercises do you need. And over the course of time, and just consistent small changes, like going to the gym, reaching out for help. I joined accountability groups and support groups so that I could chat with people who were in the same boat. And, over the first 5 months of that, I lost about 50 pounds. And the mental transformation was absolutely incredible. Like, that I found my passion, because not only had I physically lost weight and I'd physically lost that 50 pounds, but I had gained so much more up here. I had gained confidence, and I felt like I was worth something for the first time in my life. And I felt like I had like trampled those negative voices, and that like up here I was strong. And I was getting strong like physically too, but I felt like I could do anything. And you know what? That spilled over into every aspect of my life. My relationship got better. Yes, my husband was he was my boyfriend at the time, my husband now. He was absolutely like impressed when he saw me after boot camp, because I looked a lot different. But the empowerment that I got just from taking control and eating right and like doing a little something for me every single day, whether it's 10 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever workout it was, or that I, cooked something that was actually going to benefit my body as opposed to hurt it. And I definitely had my treat days. I'm a big believer in fitness and fun, and so I would, have my treat days. I wouldn't work out every single day, but then I would, just get back on track. And I found that was so much of my passion, because if I could do it, anybody could do it. And like, people didn't have to live in that fear that I did, or like live in that, I don't know, just that down point, And so I got more involved with it. I went to school, I got my degree, and I got a little bit more like knowledgeable as I, was baby stepping my way. I did more advanced fitness programs, started supplementing my body the right way, and I had lost another 20 pounds. To this date, I have lost about 70 pounds since then, and I have kept it off for about 7.5, 8 years, so I'm very proud. I am still a person who struggles with her weight. I go up and down, usually within a 10-pound range, so it's nothing big. I'm just like everybody else. I still have cravings and temptations. I still fall off track, and I still get back on track. I still have rest days. But it's a battle I feel like I'm winning. And it's one that you don't have to go at it alone. Because if I didn't have somebody telling me, like, no, you can do this, and you are worth it, and, so much is coming to you, and just keep going. Like, I don't know if I would have done it. So now I'm paying it forward, because I've learned so much over my own journey, and I've learned so much about how it, affects not only your body, but in your heart and in your mind. And, I'm reaching out to help you do the same thing. Because maybe you're listening to my story and you're just like, she's weird. Then okay, then don't message me. There's somebody else that you're gonna need to talk to then. But if any part of my story, you're like, oh my gosh, you just spelled me like so clear and it's freaky how much you get me. I've been there and I'm still here and I'm here to help you. And so I wanted to share my story so that you knew a little bit about what I do. I'm hosting a free accountability group. You don't have to buy anything. You just have to show up. You just need to want to change, because together, you and I are going to go hand in hand, and we're going to take you from here. Remember that negative Alex that was just, I don't know, just down. I don't know how else to say it. To here, to where you can feel like you can do anything. And you know what? You do. Your life gets better. All because you decided to take that first step. So anyways, thank you so much for listening. I know it was kind of long, but I felt like I had a lot to say. Looking forward to hearing from you, because together, you and I, we got some stories to tell, and they are going to be amazing. All right. So send me a message. Let me know how I can help. All right, bye.